Abbaboobo. We are on chapter 6. This is Go Greenlight. I've got my Aurora Borealis golden green Kazwa tea. You may have remembered these from back in the day. We had the Cure for Cancer teas. I found this one, and I don't remember having it. It's officially August 21st, 2019. So glad to see you. Get my water. We're going to jump into this. This is Go Greenlight, the infinite freedom, end of all evil. And I may want to check and make sure. I'm going to check and make sure that you guys can hear me before I continue. If anybody is currently on, let me know if you can hear me. And leave a post below. Let me know what your thoughts on freedom are. And if you haven't already, subscribe and check out the other. There's part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then there's 5.5. You are watching 6. The 6th segment on the efficacies of Abbaboobo. That's how you say that. And let me see if I can hear it. Da 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 da. What your thoughts on freedom are. And cool. Okay, we're gonna jump right in, and this is the on democracy. So if you've made it, congratulations, welcome. Dua dua dua. Abbaboobo, Abbaboobo. E.G.P. the Kazwa Magnical. Abbaboobo. So may my best delight, health, prosperity, peace, and serenity from me, I pass on to you. I give the best to your family, your loved ones, protection, guidance, like a compass through the dark times, power, fortune, and luck be with each and every one that is watching this. So we're going to jump right in, as I like a spicy, right with it, snappy segment. So in democracy, as we've been talking about with freedom, we talked about money and greed, obscurity, authoritarianism, environmentalism. We talked about chivalry and many other aspects of things. This is also an efficacy or epic prophecy. We are delving out to the system. As we know, we want you to share, and like this is reaching millions upon millions of people, hearts and minds and souls. Remember, the Matrix Demiurge bowing down to Amin Rahu, the Black Sun Baby. You know him as Jesus, Lucifer, the light bearer, Ishtar, Allah, Yahweh, Jehovah Jireh, Mithras, Krishna, Buddha. Everyone's waiting for the return of something. And we see signs and wonders in the skies. People are taking pictures of the black sun, of that moment when the sky will be blanketed like sackcloth, and the great reset will be upon us. Keep an eye out for 12/21/2019. Alright, so best wishes and all pure intentions. This is a 5-day, by the way. When you add 8 and the 3, that's 11, or the 2. You have 21, which is a very important day as well, which is a 3. So 23, very perfectional path to be on, which is 5. In general, not to get fixated on any numbers, but the arithmetic shows 5 is a human number. We have 5 fingers on both hands, 5 toes on both hands, which equals 1, or 10. So the 1 and the 1, which is the black sun and the yellow sun. There is a moon, and then there's Mercury as well. These are some sorts of glares or reflection. I saw light outside, and my glasses showed a full glare. And when I moved my glasses, I noticed it made kind of like the moon does, a holographic half sphere. So that's similarly how the moon works, a holographic reflection. And there's parasitic energies because of what type of thoughts and distractions people put on the moon and Saturn, things such as that, that give it its power. However, the magnetic or electromagnetic energy we see that creates all this plasma, bioplasma from the aurora borealis, is emitted from the inner earth, from the radiation of the sun, swallowing this up into the black hole, which emits the green light energy, which we're talking about. Green light going back to the center where the heart is activated. The first element that was actually ever manifested was plasma energy. This plasma came from this center vortex, this toroidal field, and emitted out all the green. From scarcity to abundance, we have life due to Queen Aurora, the creator, the black sun, which all these stories have been anthropomorphized. Egypt, they called it Anubis. The Bible, from being Lucifer, the light bearer in the beginning of the Bible, Jesus, the two dualities meshed together, becoming one. God, the black sun, giving his only begotten son, that if you believe in, see it, then you would have light, or everlasting light, life. Okay? These are just some of the allegorical motifs and things that matter. So what's that have to do with your enslavement today? Well, we are trying to free you, my friend, and it starts with information, and it may not be something you like to hear, you may hate it, but it leads you to motivation, and this is the truth, which will prolong the hopefulness of change. I'm not the same man I was 10 years ago, let alone just 2 years ago, or even 6 months ago. So the progress of information is phenomenal when you are open, willing, and honest, letting go of all fear, guilt, shame, regret, belief systems, religiosity, and most importantly, dogma and bias. As you well know, I was a minister of the biblical aspect of things, 20 years in my own ministry, reading the entire Bible front to back in Paleo, Aramaic, Hebrew to English. And, you know, when I got to the point leaving the church and then doing that, I thought the specific Bible I was reading particularly mattered, but leaving that aspect of it, asking God to help me connect with the absolute true truth. Now I have been re-fundamentalized and revitalized my soul. I feel whole, I feel complete, I feel much happier, more solidarity, more tranquil. Tranquility today is beyond, you know, my recollection before in any belief system, because now I'm doing the spiritual work, and this is part of my actual, for me, purpose and divine calling, which I've created for myself, because I know that by putting this information out to the world, it is going to manifest in some manner. So I hope you do share this and you appreciate to a degree the work, as this is many hours now on this series, and we are over halfway done. So let's go right in. I've already taken enough time for an introduction. Check out parts 1 through 5.5, and let's go. And it's fine to jump in right now, as that it all merits, and you can kind of hop in wherever you feel comfortable. So democracy is slavery that impersonates liberty. Okay. The absolute pinnacle of cultural success is to convince the people that they are free in their slavery. Democracy is an invented theory, not a moral truth. It's a construct of evil. It was created to impersonate freedom while still maintaining the grip of law over people. As in every instance in history, the pattern of tyranny repeats itself by reinventing lies to hide the same slavery. So that is the democracy side of it, okay? Democracy is making slaves, right? And keep in mind, I know a lot of people are not going to like to hear that, but when you have masters of slaves, then you are a slave, no matter what. The teachings of the world's great democracies are those of liberty and a voice for every person. They teach us that democracies are the greatest possible form of government. The reason they give is the democracy offers a voice to the common man. Unlike kings, dictators, communist democracy allows most people to have a say in the affairs of their neighbors. The evil of democracy knows no freedom. A free person has none to enslave him. Instead, democracies offer everyone the opportunity to enslave you. Okay? So it's the majority rule, right? We think this is fair. Democratic culture teaches us the rule of law. It teaches that law created by majority rule is morality. Any law, any demand, any punishment is moral when implemented by the majority. Perversions of democracy, such as democratic republics and supermajorities, are no different. Any law able to be passed by representative, majority, supermajority, or any other group becomes morality. If you convince 50% of the people to enslave themselves or their neighbors, is it moral? If you can convince 66%, 75%, 99%, or everyone, right, is it morality? The affliction of law is a game to evil. Evil seeks to control over people in order to destroy their worth. It does not care who enslaves whom or why. There is no morality in law. Democratic teaching says that as soon as the legal voting bloc approves a law, it is right and proper to inflict upon a people. Why should the destruction of your freedom be acceptable just because someone else says so? Does evil become righteous when more people desire it? Would evil be righteous if all people desire it? Tyranny by one king is the same as tyranny of 100 million kings. It's the nature of compulsion in law that is evil. how the law is achieved is meaningless. Right? Let's see if that... Alright, thanks for hanging with. Okay, so how the law is achieved is meaningless, right? How the lie is achieved is meaningless. Hiding tyranny in the constructs of representative government and majority rule is commonplace in our modern world. After so many millennia of royalty and warlords, people have learned to see some of the evil in tyranny. Thousands of years were required to discard the notion of nobility and divine right of rule. Today, many in the world have an understanding that there is no birthright to rule over others as a king. But the deviousness of evil has pushed the burden upon individual concepts instead of upon itself. Evil teaches modern people that royalty and dictators were a mistake, but that submission to your neighbors is right. In early U.S. history, the majority allowed the enslaving and systematic dehumanization of Africans. Did the law of democracy moralize slavery? Theories such as majority rule are inherently evil. Evil would have you believe that evil is good, and that freedom is anarchy. From the position of a free individual, it is horrendous to watch members of a democracy not only swallow the rule of law as inflicted in the manner and form upon lives, but also to witness the selfless victims inflicted. The selfsame victims inflicted differing versions of morality upon their neighbors. Some people believe that democracies are safe and proper form of government. Since the majority of people are decent, they believe that majority will set proper rules for the morality or the minority. This belief teaches two lies. First, that there is nobility in law, and that it is right to force the minority to obey. Second, that the minority, if left to themselves, will destroy the lives of everyone else. The minority are controlled and forced by a system of police and law to conform to the correct manner of behavior defined as crime. None of this has anything to do with defending the liberty of the majority. It's about controlling the minority. It is about conditioning the majority to the taste of evil. The thirst for power over others is the lure of democracy. There is no majority. The modern history of powerful democracies has shown that there is no such thing as the majority or the minority. Factions of ideologies within populations fragment demographic societies into countless splinters. Different approaches, compromises, and ideologies or rules break apart any possibility of a single majority, while still creating endless compulsion via law or lies. Because of this, you are guaranteed, regardless of who you are, to be in some majority circles. in some minority circles. You will taste of both control over others in dictating law and in slavery of having law dictated upon you. Your neighbor, who may otherwise think like you, will be willing to sacrifice your liberty to achieve some of his means. Likewise, in a democracy, you will be tempted to make criminals of your neighbors. As soon as culture teaches people that it is right and proper to destroy liberty under any premise, authority splinters and tyranny grows. So, what does this lead us to? Violence and destruction. Did anybody see any violence or destruction when Trump was running for office, or Hillary, or Obama? Why is that in a democracy? Wouldn't you think we figured it out by now? Is democracy actually efficient? Is it freedom? Is it right? Democracy is everything that is evil. Just like communism and socialism, democracy creates violence and destruction. Democracy teaches people that it is proper to inflict your will by force upon others. Indeed, it teaches people that they are entitled to take anything from their neighbors by force. Democracies are always welfare states because everyone is able to create laws legitimizing theft. The strongest democracies have the highest taxation and the most regulation. Government employees are able to influence laws to benefit their own positions and salaries. The more regulation created, the more opportunities for pirating in the name of propriety. Many wish to control behavior in the name of religion, environment, economics, decency, and safety. Democracy teaches that these things have more value than the human beings. Evil always teaches that achieving specific behaviors from people is more important than the people themselves. Evil would have you believe that righteousness is found in propriety instead of you. When democratic cultures strengthen, it is obvious to everyone that the legitimacy of law is a farce. Any law is noble as soon as it becomes law or a lie. What would be considered the crimes of kidnapping, mugging, and murdering are now committed for you, in proxy by when they want it. This is no more evil than law, just more efficient. The height of democracy is the chaos of men, stealing from men, destroying each other's liberty at will, and crushing the human spirit simply because they can. The height of democracy is an inability to think, to speak, or to act for fear of law. This is not anarchy, this is tyranny. Tyranny is always disguised as culture and law. Go ahead and leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't be scared, don't be shy. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Because this leads me to my next great point, which is perfect evil. To understand the nature of democracy, it is essential to understand that evil is the destruction of freedom, as we've said throughout all these segments. The stability of control is the engineering design of culture. The more stability that authority can be exerted with, the better stability in history is non-existent. So stability in history is non-existent. Wars have been fought continually. Empires have been born and destroyed throughout the millennia. Nearly every excuse for tyranny has been tried and eventually overcome. Human beings seek liberty in their lives because liberty is the nature of humanity. Liberty is life. Our continual struggle against evil has been recorded by history. Evil has eventually lost every war it started. This is a testament to the strength and goodness of humanity. It is also a testament of the adaptability and evolution of evil. Every form of tyranny has failed because people eventually recognized it and retrieved their own liberty. Evil has found a solution to its losses in making partners of its slaves. Democracy is the greatest evil that can possibly exist. It is a greater evil than communism and a greater evil than royalty. All other forms of tyranny are obviously evil because they allow a few to control the lives of all. Freedom was destroyed for nearly everyone. Democracy, however, teaches that you are free enough to vote for your enslavement. A seemingly better system, right? Unfortunately, it legitimizes other people voting away your freedoms. This makes it evil. What makes it pure evil and the greatest form of evil that can possibly exist is that you also vote to take away freedoms. Everyone becomes a slave, and everyone becomes a master of slaves. Perfect evil. So that was the end of that segment. I could go on, but I think I want to close it. Love y'all. This has been the BlackSunBABY. Actually, in this segment, I'm the nameless one. I'm not going to be documented on this. I appreciate y'all. This is the segment Go Greenlight to Infinite Freedom. End of all evil. Now, the beauty in all this, y'all, is I am heading to a solution. So when you say, Eric, but what can you do if you remove democracy? We understand communism, socialism is wrong. We're currently in a system of democracy. So what do we do, right? So like I said, stay tuned, subscribe and like this the Abbaboobo fan page, Efficacies of Abbaboobo, as the next segment, which we will most likely do later tonight or possibly tomorrow. We'll be going into the economics of all of this, and so we are leading to a solution. Just know we are at the end of the road. So whether you're following my BlackSunBABY segments and you believe the efficacies of my prophecies, what I'm saying, and my provisions, it doesn't really matter. Even what is going on before you is going to have to take place. So when you think about how we owe all of our debt to China and things like that, there's just no way to get us out of this hole. The debt, all that. So I know I will just give you a little bit of a foreshadow. One of the solutions is getting out of the country. You can get a hold of us. We have access to ways to save your family and flee, live off the land. You can thrive. I've had more clients and people get a hold of me on wanting to leave and how they can do it, how to live off the land. Your life is important, and right now is the time. The Great Reset is before us. So with that, BlackSunBABY, Abbaboobo. May all receive this information. May their lives be enriched and with provisions, envisionment of optimum, healthy, serene, blissful, peaceful, heavenly future. Just let it be. Let go. Allow it. Feel it. Just know it. See or visualize what you want. Recognize, remember it, but just let it go. Let go. Abbaboobo, Abbaboobo. To the great Abbaboobo, Abbaboobo.